Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's 5 p.m. here in Ireland, 7 p.m. in South Africa. I'm Big Joe Shep, and this is episode 2 of the Live at 5 series of shorts that we've just started this week. Didn't expect to do one today, but there you go. We spoil you bloody people. Joining me is my good friend and co-host of our Springbok and Rugby Roundup show, ThreeBOD and BJS. He is a most inspirational character and one of the best rugby minds I've ever come across. He is from Walking Tall with GMan. Gareth Mason, welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
How's it, Joe? Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this one. Good to be back.
Yeah, you'll be both. As ever, these new series of short shows are brought to us by Shep's Blend. Go to coffeedog.ie, and yes, you too now can wake up. It is genuinely, not just because it was named after me and made in my likeness, but it is the best coffee you will ever have for breakfast. You can now wake up with Shep. Scary thought, but there we go. Coffeedog.ie, Shep's Blend, and then we go. Right, today. Whoa, breaking news. The Lions Tour 2021 is going ahead. It is in South Africa and starts on the 3rd of July. And we're going to cover that very briefly. And we are also going to cover the whole, we're going to call Genge Gate, as it is, the Ellis Genge incident with Jonathan Sexton last weekend in the Six Nations that brought the beast Tendai out to say a few words on Twitter against Genge. But there we go. Start us off first, though. What are your thoughts, Gareth, on the Lions Tour in South Africa? That's just broken this afternoon. What are your own thoughts on it?
I'm over the moon. I'm extremely happy that it's in South Africa where it should be. There's been so much debate of where it should be, whether it should be in the UK, whether it should be in Australia. I'm really thrilled that it's finally been decided on South Africa. Obviously, there's a lot of question marks as to whether or not we'll have crowds, full crowds, half crowds, how many people can come. There's a lot of debates, but right now the fact that the tournament's in South Africa, it's great because, I mean, British and Irish Lions is one of the most historic tournaments in sport, and to wait 12 years is a hell of a long time to get your opportunity for the Lions to come to their respective nation. And I'm over the moon that they're back in South Africa, especially now that I'm a lot older, more of a rugby fan. I will get to experience a bit of it, hopefully, if crowds go ahead. So I'm extremely happy for not only the sport, I'm happy for the country, I'm happy for all the small businesses around South Africa who are going to get a good contribution from this tour. So it's good things. I'm over the moon.
Absolutely, yeah. You and me both, and I think an awful lot of people are. I think it explains now why they've been waiting for so long to try and make the dare I say, the right decision. And actually, as it happens, my little background today, I'm not in a co-working space. That is a co-working space, and interestingly, I've just realised that is in Workshop 17 in Paarl in South Africa. So there you go. A little bit of a sort of promo thing for them. Andy, get me a bottle of gin for that one, mate, if you ever get around to it. We have to get that in there. It's like the most fun. So, Brandon Smith is on. Brandon, good evening, Joe and G-Man. Always a pleasure, Brandon. Nigel Quigley is on. The Night King. It's like a scene from Crime Watch. Bob Falk. Body off Baywatch. Face off Crime Watch, as if. Dave Toppin, White Walker 1. Brilliant to see you guys. Johnny Pullen, we wish you best, buddy, after your recent huge operation. Get well soon. Knight says, how's the recovery going? There you go. Absolutely. And he's just thanking them back again. So there we are. The Lions are on for July this year. We think it's great for small businesses. We think it's great for fans all over. And I think it is, you're right, 12 years in the making. The amount of money. Now, what we don't know at the moment, I've read the Lions statement out. But what we don't know at the moment is whether tourists will be able to travel cross-border and internationally, and we don't know whether there'll be fans there. It would be great, wouldn't it, to be able to, even if we can get some tourists there, because the tour it's not just about the game of rugby. Anybody who's served in the forces or been on rugby tours or anything like that, when you go away, it's the whole package. I mean, that's why we work with MSG Tours, you know, not giving them a plug today, but why not? Because that's what they do.
Yes.
They put excellent packages together. And for some lads, if you can't get a ticket, it's being there on the ground. I mean, South Africa is such a vibrant country, mate. I mean, what does it mean for you to be able to invite, you know, to get all those tourists across there and mixing and engaging with them?
It just gets to, you get to excuse me, show off a great nation. You know, a lot of people hear different things about South Africa, whether it's negative or whatever. And now people get to really see the beauty of it. I mean, Cape Town, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, to experience sport and everything there. And also the people. I mean, I went to the Lions taking on the Southern Kings in 2009, and to meet all the different characters and faces. And I mean, obviously that the year after that was the 2010 World Cup, bringing people in was absolutely incredible. And you get to know people, get to meet, share culture, share history. And I'm extremely excited to welcome everyone. And I really hope, fingers crossed, we can get it. There is obviously the talk of the third wave on its way or something like that.
Yeah.
And but I know the president of SA Rugby has pleaded with the sports minister to try and at least get 50% capacity in those stadiums. Whether we get it or not, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm really excited, and I hope a good amount of people can come overseas and enjoy classic rugby, not only from a Springbok point of view, but provincial. For those guys and the youngsters in the provincial sides to experience something like playing against the British and Irish Lions, whether you support Ireland, Scotland, Wales, I mean, England, there's so much history. And watching, even for me as a fan, watching the guys connect, you think Owen Farrell and Johnny Sexton would never be in a team together. You're going to see that and share those types of camaraderies. Alan Wynne-Jones, the legend, if selected. I mean, all these memories from what we've seen in the past, and now it's coming back to South Africa. I'm honestly so chuffed and excited for it. I think it's going to be unbelievable.
Absolutely, and I saw a comment from Warren Gatland saying that there was going to be a 36, a smaller side than normal, so it looks like it'll be 36. So that'd be quite interesting. In fact, Connor, where is he? Hi, fellas. Connor Broomfield, who runs the excellent Four Provinces Rugby Supporters Club, on Facebook. Go and have a look at that. That's excellent. He'd run a competition based on the Warren Gatland's 36. That's all worth going for lots of stuff to do on that side there. Nigel Quigley says the Rainbow Cup. The Rainbow Cup obviously is the Pro 12 plus the 4 South African super franchise teams who are coming off to play. So they've got the Rainbow Cup, which starts in April, June. We got the Lions Tour. My wife will disown me. Me and you're going to have to sort of meet in Dublin somewhere. We'll rent some accommodation because we'll all be disowned. There we go.
That's why I'm still single, so I can still enjoy sport. So I got no issues there.
Listen, yeah, absolutely. It is a bit of a juggling act in everything that's going on, but it's going to be exciting. But here's the thing, buddy, right? A number of people said that they didn't really feel that the Currie Cup this year was on par with what it hitherto had been. I suppose that's understandable when we're coming out of lockdown globally.
Exactly.
Not all of the teams have, fired up. We've seen that, and I think that's mixed up the rugby thing as well. Six Nations certainly it has it mixed up a lot. So with the Currie Cup not being, at the standard that most have expected from the past, and the Springboks haven't played since the World Cup.
Yeah,
how do you think that will affect? Coming into such a bit, because July isn't far away, today. It's only a couple of months.
It's not, and there's a hell of a lot of work that needs to be done for the Springboks and for the provincial sides. Currie Cup definitely wasn't up to the normal standard that we're used to, but the guys have been playing rugby for quite a bit of time, coming back in this competitive level after not playing for so long. I mean, we had the Super Rugby unlocked. That wasn't too bad. Currie Cup, I preferred a bit more. But even watching this Preparations Cup, that's unfortunately you guys in the UK can't see, but the rugby intensity from that I have been enjoying. I mean, I watched Sharks and Cheetahs in the middle of the week about a week or two ago. One of the best games of rugby I've seen. The Lions and the Sharks, 40-42 or 43 was the final score. It's getting better, and there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. But you're right, time's ticking. I am nervous for the Springboks. I think we should have gone overseas and played in the Rugby Championship just like Argentina did. I think we're going to regret not doing that, but Rassie's still around, Coach Jacques as well. They will have a plan already. There's no ways we're going into this cold feet. There will be an idea, there will be suggestions, there will be a game plan. And as long as the boys focus on it, we should be all right.
Yeah, good. Excellent stuff. Well, as we know, today is a very short one. It's 15 minutes or less for 10 minutes. Got a second bit to talk about. You are welcome. I'm Big Joe Shep, founder and chief bloke at the ThreeBOD Rugby Group, and I'm joined today by the fabulous, legendary walk and tall GMan's Gareth Mason. And so, breaking news this afternoon, the Lions tour is on 3rd of July. More to follow. There will be more of these. But we need to, in the last couple of minutes, just cover what we were going to originally talk about, which was Genge Gate. Last weekend, the English prop Ellis Genge was alleged to have been rubbing his elbow into Irish fly half Johnny Sexton's face into the ground when they had a little melee, a little chaps get together in front of the post in the Six Nations game when England got beaten by Ireland roundly and severely, I might add. It caused a whole lot of issues. He wasn't cited for it. The Beast, Tendai the Beast, great gentleman, real true gentleman in every way. Came out on Twitter, which had surprised me a little bit, but there you go.
Yeah.
Man's entitled to do so. He's a legend in his own right.
Exactly.
Is it a rugby incident? Was it? Is it the wrong thing? Should we just have a look at it? You know, it's gone. What were your thoughts on it, mate?
To be honest with you, I think it's absolutely appalling. I know a lot of people are questioning the video, saying, it's biased towards the Irish and it's totally against Genge, but because apparently Sexton was holding him down. I understand it. Sexton might have irritated him, all that, but you don't take your blinking elbow and shove the poor guy's head into the ground. That is not rugby. It's not sportsmanship. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that World Rugby have not done anything about this, but yet smaller incidents of maybe a tackle in the air where the guy doesn't mean to do it, he gets cited, or a shoulder charge that was by an accident because a guy ducked, he gets cited. But this, deliberate. I mean, I don't care who you are. I'm South African. I mean, I support the Springboks, but that is ridiculous. I thought it was shocking, unsportsmanship. Like, what is it? What example does it set? And then he still goes and says to the ref, "Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it." No, man, your attitude is shocking, in my opinion.
Dermot O'Rourke, indeed. Dermot O'Rourke says, "Good man, Gareth. Great insight into rugby on your YouTube channel. It is. Go to Gareth's channel. Absolutely superb analysis of rugby and thoughts and insights." Genge was just ignored by World Rugby for his punches crazy. And Nigel Quigley adds, next season Genge should avoid being at the bottom of rucks against Ireland, or we will know it's coming. Rugby has always been like this, lot. Absolutely. It's cool.
Someone also said online that they should do, if he had done that to the Beast would have absolutely destroyed him. So bring him into the Lions tour. We'll sort him out if he does that again.
Yeah, I think when you look at Dermot is just saying that as when he got sent off for slightly too high a tackle and Genge gets away with it. I was surprised that the TMO didn't come in at that point, because again, we're all asking for this consistency, but you know, it's not a good thing to. There's too many people online saying, like, you know, well, it's just rugby's going soft and stuff like that. And well, unfortunately, you know, back in the day, you didn't have cameras and things and TMOs and stuff like that, and you can't. And we need to be in the professional game now. We need to be setting a better level. Back in the amateur game, you know, somebody running 60 meters to get involved in a small melee was par for the course, but it doesn't anymore. And I think we do have to set the right example. Do you think, though, that Tendai coming out and saying anything, were you surprised at that? Or just, you know, why not, actually? Because he's such a gentleman and such a renowned player. And one of the fairest players, that, you know, people go on about that Con Japan thing. He is one of those standouts. He's like Jason Leonard for me. He's one of those standout players over the history of rugby. And the times I've spoken to him, you know, he's been on shows. He's just a pure gentleman. So for him to be irked by that, I think that's why.
I think it's also a matter of defense for the position that they kind of share in the prop line. I mean, like you say, Tenda's a genuine bloke, and He's probably also saying it's just ridiculous, because he also knows in certain situations when the referees have been harsh on South Africans or other nations around the world, you automatically get a red card. I could bring a few names that if that was Bucky's Botha, he would have been sent off and banned for a month. If it was Martin Johnson, maybe, I don't know. It's those kind of things that I think the players get frustrated of. Why are certain players get away with it? So I'm glad he stood up for it, and I think he meant well. I see Genge's commented back. I'll let him know, but even that just shows the immaturity of Genge as well. Yeah. So I'm happy with Beast, and I think he's right. I'm going to chirp it too.
Absolutely.
It's not sportsmanlike.
No, it's not, and I think that's the difference. That there isn't quite enough. There was hard men in the old day, but that's cheap and nasty, and you see a little bit too much of it now. And it's almost, it's a bit like what we were talking about yesterday with the online comment stuff. People used to take the mickey out of Wendy ball football. Do you know what? We've lost a lot of moral high ground on and off the pitch in some things that were happening. And I played harsh, let's say, when I was a tired prop as well, because I learned the hard way. But it was fair, it was good band, but you just can't do it anymore, and it isn't setting a good example. Nice quickly, some people saw the Beast tweet as a threat. No, I have no idea what some folks see when they read one lines of text. Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with Gareth. I think that he was defending the props position, that it's actually putting the game in disrepute by those actions. Yes. Slightly nothing against the backs, or if you're an angry little scrum half. I'm not getting on to being anti-scrum halves, not today. But, it would be different. But when you're in the forwards, there is almost an unwritten rule of conduct. Yeah. And that's is not it. So, you rise above it if you're being pulled in, or, if your nipple's been twisted by Johnny Sexton, well, you wait your time. And then next time he's got a ball, you hit him legally, and you hit him hard. Furlong, Henshaw, Byrne, Earl, she'll be on the plane. We'll be coming back to some specials on that one, Dermot, that's for sure. There'll be lots and lots of good players. Anyway, there we go. We are up to 18 minutes. It is a short tonight. It's a little bit longer than the planned short, but it's been great because we didn't know today that the Lions Tour to South Africa is starting on the 3rd of July. There'll be lots more of our shows now that we know it's going ahead. There'll be lots more coverage, both between the normal shows and between the South African and Springbok. The Springbok and South African will be Roundup show. ThreeBOD at a Ball and Blitzpod with Andy Daniel from Scrum 5 and Gareth Mason themselves, and lots of special guests to come. This has been our live at 5 with me, Big Joe Shep, and Gareth Mason. And tomorrow, we've got another one. I didn't plan these three. I decided one yesterday. We do 2 a week, and now we've got a third one happening tomorrow. And tomorrow we are looking at the women's World Rugby's WXV competition, the almost global league of rugby for women's for the women's game, which I think it personally is a game changer. And we got Debbie Knight from Sport 365, Talking Sport 365, and Ilse van Staden, the former 100-cap Blues player, who was also Ireland and Ulster rugby prop. So until then, at 5 p.m. tomorrow, we'll see you talking about them. For now, Gareth Mason, thank you for your thoughts on the Lions Tour and on the Heat.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
And we'll see everybody tomorrow at 5 p.m. Take care. Good to meet you, Margaret.
Cheers.